Nobody saw it going down like that. I mean, I predicted Michael Morales to win, but I didn't think it was going to be that easy or that early. Michael Morales just smoked Gilbert Burns in the first round and shook up the welterweight division. Let's talk about what this means for 170 and why Michael Morales could be a future welterweight champion. I'm Wyatt, and this is Fight Society. My impression of Morales' performance: dominant, fast, knockout power, composure. So many good things to say about Morales. He was in his first main event against Gilbert Burns. The moment was not too big for him. He was fighting a former title challenger at 25 years old. Wasn't rattled by that. He came out aggressive and put away a very, very established veteran in the welterweight division with ease. I know he's aging, but Gilbert Burns' last 3 losses were to Jack Della Maddalena, Sean Brady, and Bilal Muhammad. Literally the champ, the #1 contender, and the #2 contender currently at welterweight. Michael Morales beat him easily, and in the past, beating Gilbert Burns has shown to be a kind of stepping stone to becoming a future champ or a title challenger in Bilal's case or in JDM's case. What really stood out to me was that Michael Morales looked huge in there. I mean, he looked like a middleweight. He was massive, super fast, kind of sloppy. I will be honest, he's kind of sloppy in his striking, but his range and athleticism and knockout power, basically his ability to sting somebody with any of his punches, kind of protects him from the sloppiness. Now, we'll see how that goes against a slick striker like Jack Della Maddalena that can make him pay for something like that. But against Gilbert Burns, he looked like a world beater. He had amazing octagon control and the finishing instinct was good. He stung Gilbert Burns, but he went for the finish, but he didn't punch himself out. He stayed composed. And when the first opportunity for a finish didn't come, he was still there, not gassed out for the second opportunity, and he got the second opportunity. So he looked great. Gilbert Burns, I kind of want to say he looked slow or flat, but he's really he's 38 years old. He's nearing that part of his career where the up-and-coming prospects that are in their mid to late 20s or early 30s are just going to steamroll him as a former lightweight at welterweight. He's small for the weight class. He hits hard and he's really tough, but there really isn't much I see in the welterweight division in terms of wins for Gilbert Burns. Like maybe a Masvidal if Masvidal comes back, maybe Colby Covington. I don't know. There's really not much left for him there. I think he's close to retirement, but he can still hang with the best guys, so he doesn't need to retire. But I think his title shots are essentially shot. And Gilbert Burns showed some crazy heart as well, so he didn't quit in there. Like, he's made a lot of money in his career. He got cracked a lot of times and kept fighting up until he got TKO'd. So it wasn't really a heart thing. He just got outclassed by a younger, bigger, faster guy. What Morales did right was basically everything. He had the stylistic advantage with the long-range striking. He had the size advantage, the speed advantage, the fight IQ, to be honest. He stayed very protected. The only thing that's not really great is his defense. He's a little sloppy. He could get KO'd by like a Jack Della Maddalena, like I was saying. But big and athletic got him through it, So Gilbert Burns, just age and some damage maybe. He seemed a little bit chinny there. So I don't really think that Gilbert Burns is done. There was a few specific moments where you saw, oh, this fight is not going to go for Gilbert Burns. He got stung in the first 30 seconds, survived, and then kept getting stung over and over again, where it was basically just like he was living on borrowed time, essentially, until Morales put him out of there. So what's next for Morales? He's in the top 10 in the most stacked division in the UFC. I'm going to have another video coming out tomorrow, most likely, that's talking about this shift to the new generation in the UFC right now. And Morales is right there, 25 years old, in the top 10 now in what is now the toughest division that the UFC has to offer. Now, I think he matches up really well with those smaller welterweights. I think he smokes Colby Covington. I think he could even get over on like a Joaquin Buckley if he could defend the wrestling. I mean, he is massive. So I think that he matches up really well. It's just the grappling defense that we'll have to see against somebody like a Sean Brady, Bilal Muhammad matchup, something like that that's up. And Ian Gary, that'd be a sick fight too. I could see that being on the main card of a pay-per-view. Ian Gary probably doesn't want to fight somebody that's, I don't know, Ian Gary seems like kind of a diva where he's like title shot, but even though he's 1-1 in his last 2, I think the UFC has something for some real potential as far as star power for Michael Morales, because they built the PI in Mexico. They're doing Noche UFC in Guadalajara, Mexico this year. They are going all in on Latin America, South America, all that for the next generation of stars. Dana White even said that he thinks the next Conor McGregor level of star is going to come out of Mexico. I think he can be another one of the poster boys kind of for this new generation, and especially Latin American MMA. I mean, you have Chito Vera's already from Ecuador, same place as Morales, but you have all of these up-and-coming Mexican fighters, Diego Lopez, Brazilian, fighting out of Mexico, Raul Rosas, Brandon Moreno's still a big star. Yair Rodriguez very well could be fighting for a title in Mexico against Volkanovski at 320. Latin American MMA, Mexican MMA, it's all growing very quickly. And so Morales could be a part of that because he's from Latin America. So that he could be their next big push, to be honest. He might even get a title shot off this. He might even fight the winner of JDM and Islam. Like, just depends. You know, short notice fight could happen. What does this mean for Gilbert Burns? It means that his title run's over. He lost to an up-and-coming prospect. I don't think he needs to retire, but he's going to be fighting like a Neil Magny or a Colby Covington, something like that. Somebody that's already got some miles on the tires as well. Tough guy, always a tough matchup. Even in that fight, he took a lot of damage before he actually got TKO'd. So Gilbert Burns, fight like a Colby Covington, a Neil Magny, something like that. But knowing the UFC, they're probably going to throw him against like Prates and have him get chinned again. So anyways, next fights to make. Morales, I think there's a lot of options for him, like an Ian Gary, something like that. But I think Michael Morales versus Carlos Prates on the main card of a pay-per-view would be sick. I think Prates didn't take that much damage in Kansas City against Ian Gary, and Morales took no damage. I say you take that fight, Morales versus Prates, and put it on the International Fight Week card because they are lacking some big fights. I think they need to throw something like that on there. Burns fight Colby Covington, something like that. And a win over like a Prates or an Ian Gary, or maybe even Morales versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That would be a sick matchup too. Wonderboy's been out for a little while since Joaquin Buckley knocked him out. So Morales did just make a big statement, but is it enough to call him the next big thing? I think so, but you let me know in the comments. Is this talk of him being a future champ premature? Keep in mind, he's 25 years old at 18-0. So let me know if you think he's the next big thing at welterweight. And quick announcement, I'm going to be restructuring some of the content. We're going to be doing weekly live streams on Fridays to preview cards. That's going to be a consistent live stream for you guys, and more changes to our strategy coming up that you guys will see. It'll reflect in the content as well. So are you buying the Michael Morales hype? Yes or no? Tell me who you want him to fight next. Did you like this video? Then like and subscribe down below. I also do multiple live streams per week, along with behind the scenes content and members only live streams for our channel members. So become a channel member for access to bonus content. It's only $5 per month, and it greatly helps the channel's growth. I also do a podcast with my best friend Bo, and I have a non-MMA channel as well called Wyatt's World. You can check both of those out, linked below.